you should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did ruin or run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died.
You shot straight, but you shot late. High limit. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm going to give you the rundown.
The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo, because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, "I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but that's something that would definitely stick in my mind," he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. "I have made some mistakes," she said. "Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me." The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false. The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, "Because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress." In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said, "This incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory."
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
Yeah, I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out than I am of being chastised by their fans.
All right, Chloe Malas joining us now live. Chloe, we just heard a very strongly worded statement from Jay-Z. What else are you hearing from him and his team?
Yes, so his attorney said that they're going to ask the court to, quote, dismiss this frivolous case. And also moments ago, we heard from Diddy's legal team, and I want to read you some of what they said. They said, quote, this is the beginning of the end of this shameful money grab. And remember, he remains behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, and his criminal trial begins in May.
Say, hey, man, it's OG Jucario. Now I'm back at you with another one. And I had to come slide on the YouTube block because the woman who accused JayZiddy, that's Jay-Z and Diddy, of running a train on her when she was underage, 13 to be exact, right? At a Diddy after party after the VMAs in the year 2000, to be exact. September the 7th is the date that this is supposedly to have took place on. And this 13-year-old girl is saying, now to NBC News, her story about what actually went on. So, as you seen in that clip that I played earlier, wow, there's a lot of inconsistencies that NBC News pointed out, you guys. It's not looking too good for this accuser of JayZiddy and Tony Busby, the lawyer who's bringing all these lawsuits against JayZiddy. Wowzers. Yeah. Now, this now 38-year-old woman who claimed to have been 13 years old in the year 2000 when this alleged incident took place with her and JayZiddy at this so-called after party, this freak off, right? Where it was so many celebrity superstars in the room, right? Female celebrities that were there, that JayZiddy just had to, get their hands on this underage female that was in a room inebriated in this big bed all by herself. And she claims that another female celebrity, right, was in that room when this took place. But this female celebrity hasn't been named yet, you guys. And as I stated in my previous video, when Busby, the lawyer on this case, when he said that, people could, pay off, a certain amount of money, right, once mitigated and mediated, okay, that their names wouldn't be named in these cases, these, nasty work cases that he has going on, you guys, that he's exposing. And I said, could this female celebrity who was allegedly in that room, right, who was a witness, to the whole ordeal, did she pay off Tony Busby and his firm not to be named? Because if you put Jay-Z's name out there, what's making this celebrity female so important that she can't be named in this lawsuit as up to this point? Okay? Something's very suspicious about that, you guys. Now, I'm not going to hold you. We're going to jump into a lot of these inconsistencies with this latest story, okay? Now, with me graduating in 1999, I clearly remember that nobody in my school, at that time that I knew of, that I even, graduated with or even attended school with people that was in, grades under me, okay? Never heard of autism at that time growing up. So she's saying that she was fully aware at 13 years old back then. Well, she was in the 8th grade, 7th grade, something like that. Okay, so she was fully aware that autism was around. This is 1 year after I graduated. I never had heard of autism, right? So, yes, it's a big, saying like, ordeal now. Everybody knows about autism as of now. But it was a time, and I'm telling you, back in 1999, that nobody was talking about autism like that. So she was fully aware of that. And, okay, that's cool. But nevertheless, this 13-year-old who was clearly, conscious of having autism was able to get an older person, right, a friend, as they say in the interview, to drive her 5 hours from Rochester, New York to Manhattan where the VMAs took place. Now, who in their right mind, right, would take an autistic child 5 hours away from their home and just drop them off and burn out on them, leave? And it wasn't stated that this person, this older person, this friend, stayed in New York at the time, waited around on her. No, we know she didn't, because the girl stated that after all the, alleged allegations took place, with JayZiddy, right, is, she had to run to a gas station to call her father to come pick her up, which he had to drive 5 hours from Rochester, New York, to come to Manhattan or wherever she was picked up from. Now, I find that very suspicious that this older person who took her to Rochester would just drop her off and leave her. She's autistic. See, all this stuff might work against this lady, as it already seems to be with these inconsistencies already. All right, so that was very crazy to me that, a person would take an autistic child, take them 5 hours away from their home, okay, drop them off and just leave them. Something ain't right about that, you guys. That's very suspicious. But wait, there's more. Now, this 13-year-old at the time, right? She said that an older friend took her. Now, this same older friend, guess what? Is dead now, you guys. And she can't vet. She can't be a witness to any of these claims, these accusations, allegations that she's making against JayZiddy. That's suspicious. That's very, very, very suspicious. Now, how convenient is that? That the person who allegedly took her to the VMAs, 5 hours away from the girl's home, right, is now deceased and can't be questioned for nothing. Ain't that something, you guys? And they never said, if this person was a male or female, right? And they said they do, have the name of the person, but they're now dead. So this is working in the favor of, the victim so far, okay? With this person, being deceased and can't be questioned. So that right there is already sealing that deal where we can't verify, who actually took her. Now, I find it very strange that the only person who can verify that they took this 13-year-old autistic girl at that time to the VMAs 5 hours away from her home is now deceased. It's nasty work, you guys, because obviously they can't be questioned. Now, once she got to the VMAs, right, she claims that she talked to one of Diddy's limo drivers, okay, and that he couldn't get her inside of the VMAs, but he told her, hey, look, I can come back once I drop Diddy and his entourage off at this party and come back and get you, and I can get you into this after party of Diddy's, right? And she agreed to it. Now, the person who dropped her off, this is where the story gets kind of conflicted with me. So this person had to just drop her off and leave her because it detailed that she had to come back. The limo driver told her to come back, okay, to this alleged spot to wait on this limo driver to come back and pick her up and take her to the after party. Now, she didn't state how long she waited, but she said it was a while, right? It took a long time for him to come back, but he finally came back. And, during that conversation, she said that, which is something around the lines of, PDF-ish, okay? Let's just say it like that. You're what Diddy's looking for. Really? And like I said in my previous video, who is this limo driver? Why come we haven't heard who the alleged limo driver who was driving for Puff that night at the VMAs? You can only be in one limo, right? Okay, so who is this person? This guy who was driving that night that told this little girl these nasty things, right? You're what Diddy is looking for, right? Wow, really? Then you came back and got her, huh? And took her to the freak off. This person needs to be arrested, you guys. I think more should come up about this person. Now, we're going to cover our bases. Like I said in my previous video, when she got to the party, who just let this underage girl in? You could tell this girl was underage. Come on. Who can't tell a 13-year-old little girl when they look at her that she's underage? Like, she's not of age to do anything but be a child, okay? And none of that was brought up in this interview. Like, none of that was even asked. Did they give you any flack about, coming in the party? Did you, have to sign in? Did anybody ask you how old you were? She never stated none of that in this interview, you guys. And I find that very suspicious. And now she says once she got to the party, nevertheless, okay, she's in that thing, she's mingling and flingling with the adults, right? And she's telling us that she ran to Benji Madden, okay? Whoever that is, I really don't know who that is. I'm gonna be honest now, okay? I don't know who Benji Madden is, but obviously she did, okay? Now, according to her, Benji Madden was at that party, and she was speaking to Benji Madden about a tattoo, right, that he had on his arm. She says that she knows for a fact she spoke to Benji Madden, but guess what? In a bombshell allegation, that had to be vetted. Now, in a shocking response from Benji Madden and his team, right, they claimed that Benji Madden and his brother were not even in New York at the time. They were on tour. They went nowhere near New York, you guys. So how could this 13-year-old girl speak to Benji Madden at a after party for Diddy, right, in the year 2000, okay, September the 7th to be exact? Benji Madden and his brother are saying, hey, look, we have the receipts. We were on tour. So we couldn't have been the ones that she spoke to that night, if she even spoke to anybody, right? Wow. Now let's check out, Benji, Madden and his team's response. Check this out.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says
Now, did you hear that? Now, if she didn't speak to Benji Madden, or is Benji Madden just trying to clear himself of being at that Diddy party? I know that's what people are going to say. See, I cover all bases. What if Benji Madden's lying, you guys? I don't believe it. He could be lying. Well, hey, the guy says he has receipts that him and his brother were on tour at that time. I'm pretty sure that he's provided those receipts, along with this representative, providing this statement from Benji's estates. Okay, now check this out. If that's not true, what else isn't true, you guys? Yes. Well, let's continue. But nevertheless, we're still, trying to figure this thing out. So once she's given a drink inside that after party, right, she's mingling and flingling around with people, right, talking to some of her favorite celebrities, stars. Once she got this drink and started drinking it, she felt woozy, okay, and lightheaded, had to go lay down somewhere. So she just wanders off into a room, huh? Not lay down right there on the couch or, take a seat somewhere where everybody can see her. She goes into a secluded room, a closed room where nobody else is in there but a big bed. Wow, how convenient. A bed, huh? All right, so she gets in this bed and lays down. And check this out. This is what she said happened. And I'm going to say something that, I don't think Jay-Z, would reply like this. But let's check out what she said, Jay-Z said, when she was in that room. And 13 years old, pretty sure, she was pretty out of it if this drink had her knocked out like that. So how did she know Jay-Z was the one that came in the room first, right? How did she know who came in first or second? Okay, but she was very specific that Jay-Z came in the room first. Check it out.
At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. Well, he at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him. And he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the
Now, hold on. She stated that Jay-Z, Diddy, and an unknown celebrity female came in the room. And Jay-Z just started taking advantage of her, extrally. Now, something very, crazy is about how she detailed that, because she stated that Jay-Z came in the room first. So you remember that Jay-Z initially came in the room first 24 years ago. You remember that clearly, right? And he started taking advantage of you first, right? And then she said that Jay-Z put his hand over her mouth as if Jay-Z was the only person in the room with her. right? Just her and Jay-Z. So Jay-Z had to shush her in some type of way, keep her quiet while he was doing his nasty business. But that's strange when Diddy and an unnamed celebrity female was allegedly in the room, according to her. So why would Jay-Z have to put his hand over her mouth, right? People are watching him do this, according to her. So that don't make sense to me that he would put his hand over her mouth, right? But nevertheless, this is what she says, okay? So we're going to take her word for it at the moment until all the facts come out. But I'm breaking it down. You know, these inconsistencies that I found, all right? Now, in the initial report, she didn't say that she fought off Jay-Z at all, right? Now, if you go back and look at, you know, the report that was told, report that was previously put out about this situation, she didn't start fighting off, you know, the assault, okay, until Diddy, you know, started doing what he was doing to her allegedly, right? So that's when it stated that she fought off Diddy, and then she ran up out of the house or whatever, whatnot, out of the party, almost half naked, you know, where she ran into a store, okay, to call her father to come get her. And something else that's very strange, okay, before we get to her escaping. She said during the Jay-Z assault that Jay-Z, while she was trying to fight Jay off of her first, okay, Jay told her, cut the shit. Now, I don't think that's a term that, you know, a young hip-hop star, you know what I'm saying, rap star would say, okay? That's not a term that, that's, you know, I just don't see Jay-Z saying that, cut the shit. You know, I see Jay-Z saying, shut up, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Take this, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's just my analysis, man. So when she said that's what Jay, she remembered Jay saying, cut the shit. I don't know about that one. That's, you know, that don't seem like some nigga from the projects gonna say. That's all I'm saying, okay? Now, as I previously reported, okay, the story that they gave us is not the story that, you know, is being told now in the interview. They didn't even mention when Diddy, you know what I'm saying, was getting fought off, or she fought off Diddy, you know, as she detailed in the paperwork that was put out, okay? In the story, they didn't even say, yeah, she fought off Diddy. Only Jay-Z, they switched it up now, okay? But in the paperwork, she didn't say that she fought off Jay-Z. But in her story, you know, she fought him off, okay, in her interview. But no mention of Diddy getting fought off, okay? And no mention of also Diddy forcing her to give him fellatio, okay, as stated in the paperwork. They just totally skipped over that too. Now, if you're going to tell the story, tell it all. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, why are they skipping over information that was put out there to the public, and why is information being switched up on? So I found that very inconsistent as well. Now check this out, you guys. This is something that's very strange and suspicious to me as well. She claims that when she ran up out that mansion party, right, just bust up out the room and ran through the whole mansion to get up out of there, right? Okay, nobody noticed. None of those celebrities noticed this girl in distress. That's interesting, right? Okay, so she runs up out the room, runs out the mansion, half naked, I presume. You know, probably disarrayed, clothes everywhere, all over. You know, she have her shoes on, who knows? But check this out. Okay, so where was that limo driver when she got outside? Because she say she ran all the way to a gas station, right? She didn't say how far it took her to run to the gas station. That detail wasn't added. Why not? Because it seemed like, you know, this should have been a long ways from a mansion party. Ain't no gas station right across from a mansion. Come on, you guys. Think about it. So it's a lot of details that are missing, okay? How long did it take her to run to this gas station? And why wasn't that limo driver who took her to the party, why wasn't he waiting outside the estates, outside of that mansion? He didn't see her running out of that mansion? Okay. All right. Okay. Maybe he did. Maybe he wasn't there. He just left, right? Okay. So anyway, something ain't right. Exhale. Anyway, stay with me. Now she runs to this gas station, no matter how far that might have been. She calls her father, right? All this time she's been away from home, right? Pretty sure it's wee hours of the night, maybe into the next morning. She's out and about, in distress, distraught, right? She just been assaulted, allegedly, by JayZiddy. Yeah, that's nasty. She's underage. What's going on here, you guys? Now, her dad didn't ask no questions. He just drove 5 hours from Rochester, New York to alleged Manhattan, where the VMAs took place. Didn't ask her no questions. She got in the car. He didn't say nothing. She didn't say nothing. The whole 5-hour trip back. 10 hours for her dad because he had to drive 5 hours to get there. Something ain't right, you guys. So your daddy, your father, didn't say nothing? Didn't ask you where you been this whole time? You got autism, girl. Say, gal, you got autism. And you mean to tell me your daddy wasn't even worried about you to the point to where you in a whole nother city, 5 hours away, with JayZiddy, doing whatever that you alleged y'all were doing? Wow, that's nasty word. But guess what? The dad said when contacted by NBC investigators, right? Now, I don't know why NBC News is investigating this, but good job. Because at the end of the day, you know, we needed to know this. Exhale again. So, 5 hours. That's Blue Dream, in fact. That's Blue Dream. Excuse me. Kind of parched. Before I get ahead of myself, you guys, what are the details about the 5 hours that she just spent at this gas station? They gonna have to go back to this gas station. This little girl, this 13-year-old girl that's alleging this against JayZiddy, said she went to a gas station to call her father to come pick her up 5 hours away. Where is the footage from the gas station? There should be some. They went back and got that footage from Puff putting elbows, knees, and fists and toes all on Cassie, right? So they should be able to go back into the year 2000 and go get this alleged footage. Somebody should remember, whoever owns that store, okay? Them stores don't change owners like that too much. Okay, whoever owns that store should still own that store now. You know, hypothetically speaking, you know, maybe 2 or 3 owners over the years, over a 24-year period. Somebody knows something if that occurred. If this little girl waited there for 5 hours, what was she doing now? She only stayed at the store for 5 hours. Did she roam off? Did she come back? Where are those details about the 5 hours she spent waiting on her father, you guys, to drive 5 hours from Rochester, New York to Manhattan? Something ain't right. Oh yeah, I want all the smoke with this one. I gotta have all the smoke. Something ain't right. Now, that daddy done came out. He was contacted. I don't know. Hey man, props to NBC News, man. I don't know how they got these folks' contacts, right? But they done got the accuser of JayZiddy. We got her daddy to, you know, verify what she said, and guess what? He said he can't verify that. He has no memory of picking this girl up 5 hours away from their home that night of September the 7th, or possibly the September the 8th now, depending on what time of, morning that was when she did this. Right, when she ran away from the mansion to call him at that gas station. Probably September 8th. He don't have no recollection of that. Well, I'll be damned. It's not looking good, Tony Busby. Not looking good at all.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false.
Yeah, we gotta say that. Just because there are inconsistencies in this woman's story now doesn't mean that these allegations didn't happen in the past. We gotta say that. Because at the end of the day, we can't discredit this lady. You know, the facts have to all come out. So just because there's inconsistencies now, that is being more exposed and more details are coming out, right? The father's been talked to, right? They haven't vetted the gas station, 5-hour, layover yet. She laid over at the gas station for 5 hours, just waiting on the daddy. That got to be vetted. That got to be verified. Because we have the dad dropping a bombshell, as you heard, saying, hey, I don't even remember that. I will remember something like that about my little girl, but he ain't say nothing about autism. Notice that? The dad didn't mention, she was always, special. She would wander off. She would go here, go there, go a little bit everywhere, 5 hours away. He doesn't mention that. He never mentioned autism. Okay? Is this lady using this as a crutch, as a, as a sympathy button, right? Well, leave her alone. She got autism. Come on, please. This is serious, you guys. You can't just go around making these type of accusations against, men, all right? Especially black billionaire men. So Jay-Z and Diddy, JayZiddy, they gonna use every red penny that, he said he wasn't gonna get busted to fight these allegations, as he should. So with all these inconsistencies, it still don't mean that this woman is wrong about her claim. Wowzers. Yeah. Tony Busby said, because we have interrogated her immensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph, right? And this has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress. Now, from what we know, they said that what she said, she claimed she got autism. How we know this autism, disorder, right? Disability doesn't, cause her to have seizures. No, Tony Busby. Ain't looking good. Now, Busby claimed that they interrogated this witness, right? This victim. Okay. Now, she claims, right, that this is definitely how it went down, you guys. This is her story. This is how she's saying these events took place, okay? So Tony Busby and them saying that they had to interrogate this woman to make sure that what she is saying on the internet, is 1,000% correct, right? 1,000 times over, because you're going after billionaires such as Jay-Z and Diddy. Well, my bad, JayZiddy. Now, you have Jay-Z, coming out making a statement as well during this whole ordeal while it was unfolding. And Ho said this incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. And this is what Ho, had to say about the whole situation, you guys. And at the end of the day, man, this thing is getting real nasty, okay? This is real nasty work that's going on with this case right now. And you got, JayZiddy, they fighting for, their freedom at this moment, as they should. Okay, but it seemed like that boy Tony Busby, what I'm saying, is making a statement like, hey man, I know you think you got me. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z like, gotcha, bitch. Hey, but it's like, man, they too good over there at Rock Nation, man. You know what I'm saying? you know, you still got Puffy lawyer. He still, you know, putting his word in as well because it's both of their case, right? JayZiddy is being, you know, both of them is being named in this lawsuit. So this lady is saying she had to, you know, seek medical attention and all this here, man. And the stress is putting her through, right? And as you heard Jay-Z with that response that he made, right, that statement, we fight from victory, not for victory, right? It's basically saying to me that, you know, we already, you know, starting with a win, okay? We already done won. We already got the victory. We don't need to fight for it, basically, because, you know, I'm innocent. You know, that's what I interpret from that, you know, statement that he put out. Now, when asked if she's scared or not to go up against these powerful, you know, rich people, right? These billionaires, you know, and such, like JayZiddy. Isn't she scared? The woman was like, yeah, I'm scared. I'm real scared to do it. But, you know, I'd rather sacrifice, you know, being, you know, ridiculed by their fans than, you know, having to live with this and die with this. So, hey, the woman could be telling the truth, or she might not. Now, as you heard NBC News state that there were some inconsistencies, and just a few more before we get out of here, you know, she never stated that the celebrity female, right, celebrity B as they call her, was even in the story at all. She never said nothing, no mention in this interview that she told about celebrity B at all. So, you know, that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, you know, and as I stated in my previous video, this celebrity B, this female celebrity, pay off Busby and his firm to keep her name about this whole ordeal. Who knows? We'll just have to see if she's ever mentioned, right? And as you heard in that clip at the end, you know, of this NBC interview, the anchor was telling us that Diddy and his team is feeling like, you know, this is finally the end, right? This is the start of the end of this money grab that all these people are coming out the woodworks from the concrete jungles trying to disperse large amounts of money from JayZiddy's accounts. Wow. Now, JayZiddy is set to ask the courts to dismiss this whole ordeal, you know, because they're saying these, you know, allegations, accusations are frivolous, right? Damaging to their reputations as black billionaires. We shall see how it all turns out, you guys. And with so many inconsistencies and holes that have been poked in the story, well, this polygraph allegedly clear her name if she was to pass such a thing. Well, is she gonna take the polygraph or not? Well, they say she is. So we just have to see what really goes on with that, you guys. Because they say some people can beat a polygraph. They can be trained to beat it some type of way, you know. But who knows? And a lot of people might say that, hey, the dad was paid off. So y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this entire ordeal. Until the next time, this is OG Jucario TV with the latest rap, hip-hop, celebrity, and urban news. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spinning with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey, man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. You already know what it is, man. It's deeper than Buddha, her, you hear me? And guess what? I'm gone.